Hi, friends. So, welcome to the fourth episode of my True Parenting series. In my last episode, I talked about masculinity, the essentiality of imparting masculine nature in your son, in your boy. In today's video, I'm going to talk about the importance of preserving the feminine nature in your baby girl while she grows up. Now, when we talk about feminine nature, I'm not going to give you 10 characteristics. I'm only going to give you two things. There are two fundamental pillars of being feminine. Number one is empathy, and number two is being innocent. Empathy is a thing, is a nature, a quality inside us, inside humans, which is pretty much necessary in today's world. And whereas men are supposed to be more practical, more fierce, more decision making, more straightforward. Women brings the balance in that society of men with empathy. When the world has gotten even more fast paced in today's age, you need to have a sense of knowing the person in front of you, a sense of understanding the difficulties and the understanding what problems they're going through in their life, in their socio-economic conditions, and understand the ability to understand that is nothing but empathy. It's the ability to empathize with someone. And this is considered a feminine nature because we always talk about the nature of a mother. I mean, a woman eventually becomes a mother, and a mother has to have those qualities to raise their child. And that's why when we talk about a woman, we when we talk about a girl, we talk about the nature of a mother. And the nature of a mother is empathizing with their child. And the ability to empathize in general, when it exists, you can empathize with your fellow human being. And this quality is pretty much necessary to balance out the fierce, the practical nature of a man. The second pillar I was talking about is being innocent. Okay, so what do you mean by being innocent? Innocence is, I'm not going to say being innocent is like being naive, not at all. Being naive is something else, and being innocent is, I can say, being innocent is taking the world as it is. When you're interacting with someone, it's not that that person is going to harm you without reason. I mean, when you go out of your home, you interact with people, you get your work done, you do your work, you study, you go to office or colleges. How often does it happen that the person in front of you is going to have an intention of harming you? How often does it happen? Mostly it doesn't happen. But being innocent is acknowledging these things. Being innocent is like acknowledging the goodness in your fellow human being, the person in front of you. Being innocent is like not putting up a shield in front of you when it's not needed. I mean, if you put up a shield in front of you when it's not needed, you oftentimes transform that shield into a weapon, and that harms you and the person in front of you, the both. The ability to empathize and the ability to be innocent, to see goodness in others. These two qualities make a feminine woman. And like a masculine man, like the masculinity in a man, the femininity is taught, is a learned behavior. There are other scope of discussing why being feminine is necessary to run to a smooth an orderly world, a orderly society. That discussion is out of the scope of this video, so I'm not going to discuss that. I'm going to go straight into the fact that why being feminine can be accommodated in your girl, in your young girl child, and what goes wrong. I mean, why it is so difficult these days for girls to become a feminine woman when they grow up. In my last video about imparting masculinity in your boy, I talked about the role of the father, the role of the father, the importance of him being present in his life. Similarly, in case of raising your girl to be feminine, the relationship between the parents, the mother and the father, is much more important. See, unlike boys or men, girls or women are not gifted usually with physical strength. I'm not talking about bodybuilders, they are the exceptions. They are not usually gifted with physical strength naturally. So, when a girl is born, she usually needs protection from father, and obviously protection from her parents, both the parents, but especially from her father, because a father is supposed to raise, if a father is supposed to create that invisible umbrella to her, that she thinks is going to protect her from all the evil when she is growing up. There are mainly three reasons when your girl may get mentally broken. I mean, she might lose the privilege of being a feminine woman in future. The first reason is both the parents are always quarreling with each other. They're always fighting with each other. The young girl can see the father and the mother, they're never in sync. They're always fighting with about petty things. There's no love between them. And when this happens, her invisible umbrella is leaked, it's broken. And when her security is broken, when her safety is broken, when her safety is compromised, she from a very early age starts to build up that invisible shield I was talking about. And I'm going to tell you what that shield is. Second scenario is that the father is doesn't possess a strong personality. The mother doesn't respect her father. She is kind of abusive. She tortures him mentally. The father is much more concerned about his stance in front of the wife, is much more concerned about being defensive in front of his wife, and doesn't feel respected, doesn't feel at peace when at home. So naturally, the umbrella is broken for the girl, for the child. Number three scenario is when the father is abusive. There are there are many cases when the father is a drunkard, abusive, hits his wife, and always creates a scene when at home. There is no sense of peace at home, and this equally impacts how the girl sees their parents, and that invisible umbrella I was talking about, it gets broken again. So the safety is broken again. So in all these scenarios, we see that the girl doesn't feel safe being at home from very early childhood. She needs the feeling of protection which she doesn't get at home. So as a coping mechanism, what she starts is she starts developing this invisible shield and an escape route to a place where she feels she is protected. And this escape route is a door to hell. It's an ominous thing. This is what teaches her not to be innocent. What is this escape route? This is like learning all the cunning behaviors, learning all the tricks, learning all the backdoors to gaining benefits in life, to gaining protection in life, to gaining safety in life. Being clever, being cunning, being manipulative, and all sorts of evil things she's mandated to learn because of the situation at home, situation with the parents. The situation at home kills her innocence, kills her empathy. She takes it for granted that world is an evil place. The world is a place where you have to fight, where you have to apply cleverness, where you have to apply your tricks, manipulation to survive. And this applies to everyone. When she learns all these things, she applies it to everyone when she goes out at the streets, while in commute, while in office, while in college, everywhere. You can see, you can understand, women will approve this, and the ones who notice, they will also acknowledge this. Sometimes women, when they go out, they put up this invisible shield of toughness, of being masculine in front of the world, so that there is no scope of someone potentially exploiting her, someone potentially trying to violate her dignity, her respect, her sense of safety in the society. You can see this, you can notice this when you go out, when you see the woman behaving in certain way, and they trying to put up a shield, they trying to act tough, they trying to act, they trying to show no mercy. As I said in the initial parts of this video, the lack of empathy. You will see the women, you will see these women when they go out, they will show you no mercy, they will show you no empathy, because the conditioning and in the childhood has made them realize that the world out there is so much evil that you have to put your unbreakable face in front of the world to survive. And this is something that breaks the society. How does it break the society? I'm not going to discuss in this video. That's outside the scope of this video, and I'm not going to divert from what I have started. So while raising your girl, you have to be absolutely sure that the relationship between you and your spouse is smooth enough to raise a girl, to give birth a girl, and to give birth a child in general. But mostly things that I talked about, it affects the girl child so much that it breaks them and it makes them into something different. So while raising your girl child, you have to keep in mind the three things that I talked about: the interpersonal relationship between you and your spouse, whether if you are a father, then whether your wife respects you or not, whether you demand respect from her or not, and if whether there is an abusive dynamic between you and your spouse. You have to avoid those things at all cost. You have to provide your girl an environment which is filled with love, filled with the sense of empathy, filled with joy, filled with protection. You have to keep her innocence at any cost. You cannot let her bring up the invisible shield I was talking about. You are going to be the shield for her. You are going to provide the shield for her, not her. It's not her responsibility to devise protection for herself. It's your responsibility. It's very difficult to keep out your differences with your spouse in front of your child. If you can't do that, then there's no point raising your child. You have to rethink about that. And for that, you have to have someone in your life who is worth having with, who is worth sharing your life with. That's the main thing, that's the ground reality, that's the baseline. To have a wife, to have a husband with whom you can stay with whom you can spend your life with, and whom you can love forever. So if you are a father, you have to keep in mind that you have to have a respectful image in front of your wife. You have to see that your wife respects you. If she doesn't, then your girl is going to go somewhere else. So while raising a girl, you have to keep in mind these things, and the three things I talked to you about. You have to keep in mind those three things, and if any of the three things is not met, then it's going to be very difficult raising a girl who is innocent, who is full of empathy, who is feminine. Thank you for watching the fourth episode of this series. I'm going to come back with more episodes in this series. Wait for me. Bye.